one of our local YouTubers here in LA. Compton to be specific.
No doubt.
I'm not even sure if he taps in from Compton, but he's definitely a Compton guy.
No doubt.
Has his own platform. His platform is growing pretty well. Has a lot of OGs on it. He's an OG himself. I even think he might be considered first generation from his turf. And, I follow him. I know you follow him.
No doubt.
But, man, the other day, he was speaking on the Mob. Not only was he speaking on the Mob James situation, he had him on the show live doing an interview. And he said a couple of things that I know that I was kind of bothered by because, I covered the story. I covered you. I covered your story. And I was just wondering if you tapped in with what he said.
No doubt. I definitely tapped in. As soon as I seen that he had posted something about who was going to be on there, first off, I was disappointed, hands down, because this is supposed to be a first generation OG, from his turf, and they were around when the rules got set. They was probably sitting at the round table when we going to set these rules, and it's clearly that, some of these dudes don't care, don't give a fuck about the rules no more. You know what I mean? They just taking shit into their own hands, and the shit don't look good from my perspective. But to each his own. But when you insinuate something about me, which I felt that's what it was, you know what I mean? I took a personal issue with it.
Well, for those Streets and Scholars listeners that are trying to figure out who me and FG is talking about, we talking about Melly Mel from Santana Blocc, Melly Mel the Postman. And he had Mob James on his show earlier this week. And let me play a clip and I'll let the listeners judge for themselves. Here we go.
Or run away and then, try to stay away from home to not deal with this dude, or one day have to shoot this cat that I call my pops. You know what I'm saying? The shit is crazy, man. And, it's just crazy, Melly Mel.
Right. So what behooves me, man, is how some dudes, and we're talking about the internet, right? How they'll just take with one side of what somebody said on the internet and they hold it as truth. Because listen, James, I spent 10 years in the feds and I've seen all kind of paperwork, right?
Right.
And when I looked at the paperwork, there was clearly that they would have the name and they would have 501k, which is a form of way they present the person that gave extra commentary or conversation to whatever the feds or the prosecutor was doing. That would be plain. It wouldn't be coded. It wouldn't be like kind of like half done or none of that. So when I've seen it a lot, you know what I mean? But I've never seen the way that when they try to present that little paperwork they had, it just didn't measure it. It just didn't measure. I was in, I was in MDCA. Michael Bunton was there. Lil Bojangles was there. Boo was there. They was all on the floor with me. Pierre was there. All these individuals was there, right?
Right.
And so what I'm saying, none of them never mentioned you. I was there.
They can't. Look,
and I didn't say a whole lot about that. I don't talk about nobody. I don't mention nobody's name, and whatever somebody else is thinking is going on inside their head and don't exist in mine.
Well,
I have my own.
And I can honestly say I done did and been involved in a lot of shit, 90% of the shit in that neighborhood, where if that's my get down, y'all got a whole lot of shit to say about me. Whole lot of shit you can tell about me.
All right, man. That's at the 29-minute point of the video that Melly Mel did with Mob James. For those who want to tap into that, in fact, I'll even put a clip of this either within our within our show notes, or on the Streets and Scholars Instagram page. But man, before you respond to that, FG, the first thing I want to say is that it's not called a 5-1K.
Not
It's
at
called
all.
a 5K1.
No doubt.
And a 5K1 are for defendants who have already been charged and indicted who became cooperating witnesses.
Right.
Your paperwork identifies Mob James as a confidential informant. It's a whole different game, but it still puts you in that same category. What's your response to the whole Melly Mel thing?
Man, my whole response to the Melly Mel thing is like I said, man, I'm disappointed in you, homie, you know, for being an OG, you know what I mean, from a reputable set like Santana Blocc Compton Crip, homie. And you insinuated, homie, that you read this much paperwork and that much paperwork, but apparently you haven't. You know, you basically insinuated that this little paperwork I had, you know, even the paperwork I put out there was like 83 pages or something. That's not little, bro. That ain't nothing you can go type up or find or put together or put in the mix. Not to mention, you know, what makes you don't believe that I have more. You know, not to mention, you know, you think I didn't hear the audios. You think I don't hear a whole lot of stuff, you know. So to me, it seemed like you was insinuating that, you know, some people just took what I said and ran with. Of course they did, homie. You know what I mean? I'm FG. You know what I mean? A reputable motherfucker over there from off the east side. You know what I mean? Still is. Ain't no used to be. You know, my whole thing about it is, you know, me personally, like I say, disappointed because you was around when the structure was built. You know, you was around when the rules were set forth, homie, you know, and everybody doing their thing on their YouTube. Look, it's certain shit I don't do on my YouTube just for views, Alex. You know what I mean? You know that. Or I could have a whole bunch of subs. You know, that's not what I'm into. Not into telling the next man what he can do on his. At the same time, you're a reputable Compton dude, or was. You can't bring nobody on here to justify him against me, homie. You know what I mean? You can't do that. You know what I mean? For one, I ain't gonna let it. You know, for two, I'm gonna call you out on it. For three, you probably got your own homeboys looking at you a certain way by having this dude on your show that they know, you know what I mean, that this dude is an informant. You know what I mean? You know, I wonder what the Bride Dogs got to say, the BAMs got to say, the Crip Sads got to say, homie, some G's, you know, to understand and know the rules. This was a violation, you know what I mean? Not saying you can be violated, this is your show. But at the same time, homie, paperwork is authentic. What I said is real because I said it was, you know what I mean? Not just to mention that the legalities that I went through, the 120 months, it don't matter if you was in there with Shitty Mike, Pierre, nobody else, homie, you didn't run into me. Because anybody that ran into me, I didn't have no problems with stating what it was. Now, on the flip side, Alex, you get this. Well, you know, why you didn't do nothing? Because I ain't no damn fool. That's why I ain't. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? For me to come home, homie, the feds and 90% of the hood waiting for me to kick something off. You
That's the reason why they didn't give you bail in the first place.
And I ain't no damn fool. That's for one. If you go back and look at me, homie, I'm a gangster, not a fool. You know, so I hate to bring certain stuff to streets and scholars, man, but at the same time, you know, he put himself out there with it. You know what I mean? Man, don't ever question what I said as far as what I said somebody did to me. I won't question what nobody else say somebody else did to them. You know, you can't sugarcoat this shit. Shit is authentic. The shit is real is what it is. So I just, and then not to mention, he wouldn't even let nobody comment. You know what I mean? He was erasing comments. Look, I had a couple people say, I seen that. I went in there and commented. He erased my comment. So now you manipulating the comments, homie. Let people say what they really feel about it. You know what I mean? So I don't know what his angle was on that. Like I said, he a grown man. That's his channel. But at the same time, homie, you be having real gangsters on your shit. You be having motherfucking real soldiers on your shit. And this was contradicting all that.
Now, you're absolutely right about the comments because I want people to go watch this very carefully because at the moment he's actually talking about it, you will see him look down at the screen. And when he looks down at the screen, he's reading my comment. And I said, so you're calling FG a liar, ? Now I screenshot it when I did it because I knew he was going to delete it, which he eventually did. He deleted it. And then he kind of responded to the comment without acknowledging the comment because that's when he says, well, I ain't saying any names. I'm not calling people out. But you really kind of subliminally calling FG a liar. If you're not accepting the paperwork, if you're basically calling the paperwork fake, then you're saying FG's a liar.
Pretty much, you know what I mean? But he has the right to say that if he wants to. That's the whole thing about it, Alan. He got the right to have his opinion. You know what I mean? But don't think, homie, when you come in anything in my circle, you know what I mean? I'm a humble dude. Everybody know me, know I don't bark loud. You know what I mean? I don't do all that loud mouthing and all that type of shit. You know, I've never been that type of dude. But anything come directed to me, man, I'm gonna holler at it. I'm gonna get in front of it. I'm gonna, you know, let the situation be known, you know. So he's entitled to his opinion, but at the same time, don't get on the internet, homie, trying to discredit anything I said, because I'm the one that's authentic, and everybody, especially the Compton. We ain't worried about North Carolina or Virginia. Compton, no, homie, what you did, homie, went against the rules, homie, to be honest with you.
And you know, he's the first person from Compton to really co-sign Mob James since everything came out. So that kind of hits a little different, right?
No, it hit a lot different because, like I said, I seen him on Holding Court, Big Court thing. I don't know Courtney personally, so it is nothing I can say to that man. That's his channel. Melly Mel knows who I am. Melly Mel has my number. Melly Mel knows what's up with it. You know, so what angle he had on this, you trying to validate this dude for other reasons. You can't do that. It won't happen, homie. You know what I mean? That's a dead issue. That issue dead in the water. So don't make yourself look bad, or don't compromise your integrity in this gangster shit, homie, by doing certain shit like this. Now, maybe it take the younger homies like me to, you know, keep dudes on their toes like I always have. I try to fall back, let dudes be them. But at the end of the day, homie, I got to come let dudes know, hold on, that's crossing the line.
Thanks for checking out this short clip of the Streets and Scholars podcast with Alex Alonso and FG. If you want to check out the entire episode, visit your favorite podcast platform. We could be found on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, and iHeart. Just tap in on your cell phone, tablet, computer, or your favorite device, and guaranteed to get at least an hour of this fire content. And thanks for checking out another episode of Streets and Scholars.